I'm fine awake. Not to worry about me.
Okay. So, you there?
Yes.
Okay. So, what was high school life like in the 1960s?
What was high school like in the 1960s?
Yeah.
It's compared to now, we were pretty laid back. I was in a country school. It was different. I don't. It's hard to. I wasn't prepared for.
Yeah.
Basically, no drugs. Drugs started in the late '60s, and I think they had a lot to do with Vietnam War. You know, school wasn't as hard as it is now. I don't believe. Growing up in the country, we didn't have the teachers you probably have in a lot of your inner cities and educational stuff. You know, there was. My complaint was I was not as smart as a lot of the other kids, and I was a little bit behind, especially in reading skills. And when you got into high school, where we were at, there was no help for you in high school. So it kind of got farther behind, and that's probably one of the reasons that I did what I did after I got out of school. You know, because I had a hard time reading. I could read, but I was definitely a lot far behind than most everybody else.
Okay. So you were in high school in the 1960s when this was mostly going on, like with the war and everything?
Yes. I graduated in 1969 from high school.
Okay.
And then I volunteered. I got in a fight with my father, and I knew I was not at home, and I volunteered for the draft that summer, and then got drafted in October, just before Halloween in 1969.
Okay. So were you very aware of what was going on politically?
No, not at all.
Okay. But
not until after I got over there did I realize what was going on.
But you volunteered, right?
But I volunteered, yes. I just felt that it was my duty, and it was a way of getting away from home, you know, having a place to stay. It was military. My older brother was in the military. So I just, I just decided that was what I was going to do. A friend volunteered the same day with me. So we went to service together.
Okay. So what branch were you in?
Army.
All right. So, so they called your name, or did you go somewhere and, like, sign up?
I went someplace and signed up.
Right.
The Elkona County to the draft board, we signed up. And when you volunteer and you sign up, you're going to get drafted.
Right. Was there a lot of, like, influence, like signs and, like, propaganda, like, kind of motivating people to go into the military and help out?
No, not that I don't recall any of that stuff going on. I did know there was a little bit like the last year in high school and watching the news. We only had one channel up north. We could only pick up one channel, and so that would be the only news we would get, and it would come out of I think the Bay City area. So there was not a lot of news, you know, and I was never one for watching the news, so I didn't know a lot of what was going on. I had a lot of friends that were in Vietnam that had gone prior to me, and as they were coming home is when I volunteered for the draft, and some of them got wounded, and you got some idea what was going on, but just was, as far as propaganda goes, there wasn't really any of that.
Yeah. But you knew that the war was mostly about the spread of communism in Vietnam, and
yeah, that's basically what I felt it was about, the spread of communism. I mean, we knew a little bit about that, but we wasn't talked about a whole lot in the school, and so I mean, I knew a little bit what was going on, but not, you know, just more from friends than anything.
Did you think that if there wasn't a war that it would eventually affect America?
I probably Yes, I think I probably did think that. From what I could, some of the information that I got prior to friends coming back.
Yeah. Did you take any part in like the peace movement or like rallies after that? No.
No.
What was it like in Vietnam once you were there?
Well, I was in the Central Highlands of Vietnam, and it got from extremely hot and muggy to pretty cold at night because of the mountainous area that we were in. It was scary at times. It wasn't bad at times. The camaraderie between people. They had a lot of the Black Power movement that was going on between the blacks and the Hispanics.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only thing that maybe upset me a little bit. The fact that they were just in their own little groups. But there were a couple of them that didn't want anything to do with it, and like you protect my back and I'll protect yours, and that's the way I felt it should have been with everybody, and not to go power movements and have their little meetings and stuff. But back then, a lot of the blacks and Hispanics, because of being poor and undereducated, got drafted.
Right.
And I think that's why a lot of people in our community, we were not as educated as a lot of other people. We didn't have the money to go to college to get away from it. So besides the couple of us that volunteered for the draft, we had about 13 other people that were drafted from our county in the surrounding area during the Vietnam War.
Do you think the war changed you, like mentally or?
I grew up a lot. For the things that I seen over there, the kids eating food that we threw away like it was candy. A question that was asked of me when I come home, did I kill anybody, upset me. It was just people, they're as human as we are. And then I realized, after being over there, we didn't need to be there. We weren't trying to win anything. It was, to me, I felt at that point it was a very political war.
Right.
We weren't aggressors. We were just there to kind of maybe police things. It was just a lot like what I believe is going on in Iraq right now, and I don't like the situation.
Yeah. So you sort of touched on what I was going to ask next, but what was it like coming home?
Bad, basically. People did not like you. We were called baby killers. There was a lot of protests. We yelling and screaming at you. You're not a proud American. I was not proud about what I did, where I went. There was very little recognition. I basically have kept quiet. I've yet to join the VA, so I know I need to. I mean, it's being talked about a lot more and more all the time. I am a veteran, but it's hard to be proud about something that that nobody wanted, and it's sad the way they treated the troops. It wasn't our fault that we went over there, and we were sent to a job, and I did not chicken out from doing that job. I didn't go into hiding. I didn't run to Canada. I didn't have parents that were rich enough to put me into college.
Right.
And so I kind of kept quiet about what was, I still don't talk about it a whole lot. Though people at least thank me now, and it has a lot to do with what's going on in Iraq and people realizing, that we did fight. We were proud, at one time to stand up for America.
Mm-hmm. For the people who join these Vietnam Veterans Clubs, how do you think they feel about what they did? Like, do you think they're doing it to make themselves feel like better and not really?
No, I don't think it's to make them feel. We are veterans. I mean, we have rights, and there are benefits and stuff like that there. And this is what a lot of it is about, to protect our benefits. And this is one of the reasons that I know that I need to sign my name on that list to make sure that we as veterans